Episode
Welcome in,
2.
everybody. Welcome in, everybody, to episode 2 of the Noobs and Nonsense podcast. I am way more active, coherent today than I was last episode. So I got a lot more energy. You know, we should be.
He's not coming off of a 16-hour stream, is what he's trying to say, Jack.
Yes.
That's exactly what he's trying to say.
That shit was so exhausting. So we got myself, I'm Reptilian 1, and we got our other host, Chubby Hubby, as well. Which, I mean, you guys are watching this live, but for the audio listeners, that way you guys know who the hosts are. This is us. You know, if you heard the introductions in the first episode, we're back. We finally got to episode 2. We've made it.
Hey, look, Ma, I made it.
What else you got? I don't think we don't have any sponsors.
I don't have any sponsors or anything like that yet. Knock on wood. Yet.
Smooth.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a fun week. For me at least. Going through and re-listening and learning and notating things that we did during the first episode that maybe we can do better. Hence the background is one of the things that annoyed me the most when watching / listening on Spotify and YouTube was the lack of anything behind us, and it's just a plain black screen. And
so did you, I have a question for you. Did you listen to it on Spotify and watch it on YouTube, or did you just do one or the other?
I did both.
You did both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I watched it. I watched it and listened to it on Spotify because you can watch it and listen at the same time because it actually plays a video. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know that. That was pretty cool. And then, right? Yeah. Exactly, Rip Viper. Exactly. I did ask you to do that. But baby, traveling, family, holidays. Yeah. I got it. And then I watched it and listened to it on YouTube as well. My kids actually were making fun of me. They're like, "Are you listening to yourself on your own podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, gotta get those listens up."
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because like when the few YouTube videos that I've edited that have actually been posted and the other ones that have never been posted, I don't know how many times I've heard my disgusting narration and voice in the background. Like you when you re-listen to stuff, especially when you're editing it, you end up listening to yourself say the same crap over and over again, like at least 12, 30, 50 times.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like even today when I was putting out the announcement for the one I made for all my platforms, X, all that stuff. I was like, seriously, I am so done hearing this the song that I picked. I love the song I picked, but I'm like, I'm done listening to this. Can I finish this quickly? Because I don't want to hear this song again.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing happens when I'm making those TikToks, like the one I made the other day.
Oh yeah,
hearing the audio, or sometimes it'll put like a song over it automatically. And it bugs me, like hearing it back, trying to edit it. And I'm like, dude, I'm tired of this. I've been here for 15 minutes. I think I could never make a real profession out of editing small things like that, especially if they weren't my own.
Oh yeah, I mean, unless they're paying me enough, I guess I can always just like mute it, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. So how was your day? How you been? You said this week's been good for you.
Today, yeah. So my boss is out on medical leave. So I have been. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit here. I have been the boss at work for about a week and a half now. And it started off stressful. It started off kind of stressful because it's like one of those things where you realize, oh wow, she does so much more than you give her credit for. And then by the end of this week, I'm like, wait, does she though? Because 9 out of the 10 things that I just did are things that I would have to do anyways. So does she really do more than me? And she's getting paid so much more. But no, it's been good because I've been able to show my her boss what my capabilities are, and I have made it very known over the last couple months that I want to promote. So this is a good opportunity for me. This is actually not my first opportunity that I've had to be manager. And I had really good scores. This is my third time, my third go around, and I've had really good scores the first 2 times. And we got our first round of scores for the first week that I was there, and blew the numbers out the roof. Got my team started off to a absolutely fantastic start to the year already, and we're 4 days in, and we're already pushing $1.5 million in investments. So that's like unheard of right now in our market.
Hell yeah!
So yeah, it's been a really good week. Got some painting done. My week next week is gonna suck. It's gonna suck next week for me.
Work or
my mother-in-law comes into town next week with her mom.
That sounds exciting.
It's gonna be a blast. Oh man, I can't wait. I'm so stoked.
I feel like my weeks are gonna get a little bit better, hopefully.
Okay.
Because holiday season sucks ass for me. Because everybody calls out, everybody quits or whatever happens. I always end up having to pick up way more work or do way more crap than I need to.
Yeah, I mean,
so now that the holiday season's done,
are the pools empty already?
No, we don't drain the pools here.
No.
Yeah, we don't drain the pools here. We don't winterize them or anything like that. The only time that we ever get anything around freezing is towards the end of January, beginning of February.
Okay.
Within the Austin area, and it's just like maybe a week's worth of ice storms. Like right now outside, it's let me look up the weather real quick. I was outside earlier. It felt like it was like 60. It's 67 right now where I'm at. Like,
okay. I just told
warm.
you my nose is running. It's not because I'm sick. It's because
careful what you show.
20. I don't care. It's 23 degrees.
23 degrees.
See, 23 degrees.
I kind of wish it was that cold because I prefer the cold. I prefer the snow. But not as much snow as what you've been getting. But
so here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand. Okay. Some people might actually. It's actually not good for it to be this cold for us, because then we don't get snow. We get ice. Right?
They usually go hand in hand.
And the problem is, yeah, right, exactly. The problem is that because we have the lake, right? We have one of the big 5 lakes, one of the 5 Great Lakes right by my house. It's been a very warm winter. The lake has yet to freeze over. That means when the storms come in, they sit on the lake and rejuvenate themselves and dump more lake effect snow for it. So, being warmish cold is not good. Being too cold sucks. And then it just comes down as ice and not actual like pretty fluffy snow.
Our weather here has been bouncing. Like last week, like one day it was around 36 in the middle of the night, and you woke up the next morning, it was like in the low 40s. But then towards like around 3 p.m., it was 90 degrees.
Oh my god.
Like we've had a roller coaster of
My
temperatures here.
summer is barely 90 degrees.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, summer's up there where you're at is not it during the summer
It's
here,
humid. That's what
it was
happens.
like what was it this last year? I think it was like 109, 107 at the hottest or something like that. Maybe even hotter than that. I don't remember. But like me working outside, it doesn't matter. Once it hits 90, everything is like the same. It just sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
just
grew
hate
up in
being outside.
California, so 101 to 112 was an average summer for us, right? Like we went back this last
Yeah.
July, and it was 117 to 122 the entire time I was there. Like it was stupid hot. You got to the pool, it was like a bathtub. It just wasn't relaxing. It
Yep.
wasn't a cool down at all. And it's dry. So you sweat and you're done. Like that's it. I remember growing up, my dad was a general contractor in California, and there was this one particular summer we worked together. We were building a fence, a very large fence, and we had 3 5-gallon igloos out from 8 to 10. And by 10 o'clock, one was water, one was blue Gatorade, one was yellow Gatorade. By 10 o'clock, all 15 gallons of liquid were gone, and none of us were sweating. By the time we ended the day, we had gone through 9 5-gallon jugs of it. Not one person had to pee, and not one person was sweating. Like we were soaked in sweat, but we had no water in us left to sweat out
God.
by the time we were done. Like it was just like stop at the gas station on the way home, go to the beer cooler because you could walk into it, sit in there for 5-10 minutes. And none of us drank at the time. We just sat in there, and then we all grabbed Gatorades and water, just chugged it down. Yeah, but
Yeah, no, I believe that. I have a little like coho ice chest that I towed around in
okay.
my truck with me. This year I'm thinking about getting maybe like a Yeti or something, using the company card or some I don't know,
Yeah, there you
finding
go. There
some
you
way to
go.
get one for cheaper. We'll figure that out. I don't know because they're expensive, but I usually carry it around in my truck in my passenger seat, and every morning when I go to the office, because we have free ice at the office,
Oh, nice.
every morning that I go to the office, I'll fill it up as much as I can. I'll have waters in there, like bottles of water, and throughout the day, like peak middle of June or end of June, when it's like at its peak hotness, we're pushing like my truck is pushing like around like 120 when I get back in it. Just in the short time that I get out of the truck to go clean the pool for like maybe 30, 40 minutes and then come back in, it goes up from like 100 degrees up to like 120
Oh my god.
super quick. Even with the windows down, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then that ice chest by the end of the day is melted. Everything is melted and warm.
Goodness gracious.
So I have all sorts of things. I got bottles of water. I have like my hydro flask. I bring my shaker cups with me, and then I fill up
You should get a camel pack.
bottles. So there's a lot of my guys on my team that do that. I didn't do it as much this year because I spent a lot more time, in my truck and in the office now that I'm part of management
Oh, yeah,
rather
that's right.
than out
Part of
there
the
cleaning
no
pools.
work team.
Oh, I don't know. I work just as much as the other guys. There's a few of the guys on my team that like sun up to sundown.
Wow.
And that's how I used to be too, but now I'm
We
blessed
got
to
life.
work
We got
sun up to
life.
sundown.
We got a podcast to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah. I got other things I got to deal with.
We got Tarkov wipe. Come on.
So I I just remember me and Bailey were talking downstairs before I came up here. I had a thing that I wanted to rant about right out the gate.
Let's
I have a
go.
question for you, Chubby.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of what pizza company are you a fan of? Are you a fan of like Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's? Like, what's your favorite one? What's your favorite
Yes.
go-to?
Yes. So
No, you got to pick one.
so this is a loaded question because of my answer. Okay. So I have to choose only one of those three because I only have one of those three in the area.
Well, it's any of them, but
If I
any
could
of like the major
choose,
companies.
I would pick Pizza Hut. I would pick Pizza Hut with Papa John's being a very close number 2, and then Domino's. On the flip side, let me throw a wrench in there though. Okay, because there's a company that would pick over all three of those in the same realm.
Okay.
Little Caesars.
Where do you put Little Caesars high on the totem pole?
I do because of the cost.
Okay. Yeah,
because of the cheapness, and it's not bad quality, right? That's like saying you're gonna pick McDonald's over Wendy's because McDonald's is just cheaper. Yes, Wendy's tastes better, but it's also like double the cost, right?
Okay.
So yes, Pizza Hut and those other three definitely taste better than Little Caesars, but when I can feed my whole family and their birthday party for $15.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. That's fair. The only reason I bring this up is I think it's the past 2 nights we've had Domino's. Domino's is the closest to us. They deliver super quick, right? And it's not terribly expensive. But Domino's goes down, in most people's opinion, as one of the more dog shit pizzas, like takeout pizzas.
See, I disagree with that.
Like people don't always go with it. People tend to go with Pizza Hut or Papa John's. Like those are usually the go-tos. We had Pizza Hut tonight, and it was so fucking garbage. we got their Alfredo mac and cheese, which was
I never go and get those
flavorless
things.
Alfredo with too many noodles and not enough cheese at all.
Oh,
right? Which you go to Domino's, man. If you want cheese, you get it from Domino's. Domino's hooks it up on that one. The pizza, too much sauce, too much bread, not enough cheese, and it was flavorless, and like just such a disappointment. We usually get Pizza Hut, like we haven't gotten it in quite a while, to be honest, like probably like a few months, but that's usually like one of our go-tos, and I don't think I'm ever gonna buy it again.
That's fair. I mean, until Domino's treats you wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like any fast food restaurant, right? You're gonna go and have it until they do something messes up your stomach, or you get a tasteless burger or a tasteless pizza. Then you're gonna try something else, and
until the McChicken at McDonald's gives you E. coli.
Right, exactly, right. And then the McRib gives you wings or something. But our go-to pizza around here is not. We don't use the cookie cutter box pizza places normally, though. I mean, I live in Buffalo. It's one of the best places in the United States to get pizza.
I had pizza when I was there.
Yeah,
I mean, they got some good pizza.
There's some really good pizza. You can go to pretty much any mom and pop pizza place in the area and get fantastic pizza and wings from almost anywhere. Speaking of no, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, right.
I was gonna say, speaking of Buffalo and like Canada and like New York and all that, like we're getting Tim Hortons down here in Austin.
Tim Hortons is good.
It's not typically a southern.
It's not
place.
However, if you put a choice in front of me, where's my camera? Put a choice in front of me of Tim Hortons sweet tea, McDonald's sweet tea, Starbucks sweet tea, Chick-fil-A sweet tea. Chick-fil-A wins. Okay. Hands down. Tim Hortons is number 2. Then McDonald's. And then Starbucks.
So because Tim Hortons is it, if anyone doesn't know what Tim Hortons is, right? It's not. It just the way to put it is it's not really anywhere else in the U.S. other than
New York,
those
and
more northern places.
Yep.
Like I think Michigan might have some.
PA,
New York, Pennsylvania, stuff like that. It's like northern.
It's a Canadian company.
So like for us to have it here in Texas,
it's huge.
Like it's weird.
Yeah.
Right. These locals out here don't know what the hell it is. So I've only ever had it once, and that's when I was in Buffalo last, which was years ago. So I never had a chance to get their sweet tea. I just went and got a bunch of donuts.
So my wife and kids are diehard Starbucks fans. Don't get me wrong. I like myself a good Starbucks just like anybody else does, right? But my order is typically not a coffee from either place. I typically go with like a tea lemonade, a sweet tea. I go with like the hot teas for it. I will do coffee every once in a while, and I will say, out of the three big name, what I would consider big name coffee places, um, I would say it would actually be Dutch Brothers first, Tim Hortons, and then Starbucks. And I would even almost put McDonald's coffee above Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because like I prefaced my comments with, I don't normally do coffee. So I am not a coffee connoisseur by any means of the imagination. Coffee actually messes my stomach up very badly. So I try to stay away from it unless I'm really craving a coffee. And then I'll be like, fuck it, let's go. Coffee it is.
Yeah.
And if I do that, I will. I would prefer to go to Tim Hortons for coffee over Starbucks.
Me, I don't typically. I'm like a generic, stereotypical white girl when it comes to
Okay.
coffee. I'll go to Starbucks and I'll get like
Yeah.
the caramel,
Caramel
wrap thing.
macchiato.
Yeah, yeah. I'll do that, or I'll go to McDonald's and get their fraps, their frappes. Those things are delicious, and they are loaded with caffeine.
Yeah.
So
their caramel and vanilla lattes from McDonald's are really good too. And they're
make
just
fun of them all
loaded.
you want, but you're basically doing cocaine.
But for
when you do that.
$2.19, like I can get lit, caffeine lit.
Wait, what cost $2.19?
Oh, it's like a small iced latte or something from McDonald's.
I was about to say, dude, I don't know anything at McDonald's that costs that cheap. Not even their McChickens anymore.
That's like $2.29, right? Something like that.
I think so. Yeah,
It's two for $5.
They used to be $1.
Dude, let's not go there, man. Let's not go there. I remember on Sundays coming home from church as a kid, my dad stopping at McDonald's to get 5-cent hamburgers and 10-cent cheeseburgers and 75-cent large fries. And they were complaining about how expensive they were back then. So I don't want to hear about cheap.
You seen the McDonald's $5 meal deals?
Oh, I get those all the time. That's one of my favorite things to go get my kids. Like if the wife is working and we have things to do, I can. That's $15, dude. Like after taxes, like $17 for me to feed my kids, and then I just buy 2 McDoubles and a large iced tea. Less than $25, I can feed the family.
I consume so much. If you put food in front of me, I'm probably going to consume it. I burn a ton of calories all day at work because I'm just constantly, especially during the summertime. Those $5 meal deals, I could spend a minimal amount of money and get full. It's the best thing McDonald's has ever done.
Yeah, deadly. That's because that 100 cheeseburgers, dude, only cost them $10.
I mean, like if it cost you $10, you can buy 100 cheeseburgers too.
Listen, when I was a kid, it was 10 cents a regular cheeseburger. When I was probably 7, 8, 9 years old for it. So back when dinosaurs still roamed and they were actually dino burgers and not hamburgers. Yeah, man, me and Fred Flintstone used to go together and get some, man.
So here you go. Here's another question for you.
Okay, I'm down.
Just because I woke up at 11 o'clock today, 11 a.m. Me and Bailey. And
I had to be at work at 8:15.
We didn't work today. So
good for you guys. Good for you.
Around 11.
That'll be me tomorrow.
I went downstairs and I was just craving pancakes today. So I made a bunch of pancakes. Bailey's not a fan of them, but I was sitting there making them and I was like, you know what would be funny? or not funny, but like a good topic for tonight is like, I'm going to ask Chubby what his favorite breakfast is. Breakfast, for people that know me, is my favorite meal of the day. I'll eat it for dessert, for dinner, doesn't matter, lunch. I'd go downstairs and eat those pancakes right now because I have some left over. I fucking love breakfast. It's the best.
I will eat breakfast at any point in the day except for breakfast.
Okay, what's your good?
I am
What
not
are
a
you,
breakfast
crepe guy?
person. No, God, no. No. Breakfast for me, I will prefer one of two things. Okay. Either give me some egg, potato, and chorizo burritos.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a solid pick.
Yeah. Or give me some biscuits and gravy all day.
Biscuits and gravy.
Some homemade biscuits and gravy. That's one thing I'll give my mother-in-law is she makes some mean biscuits and gravy. And me and my son ask her to make it every time she comes to visit for us.
Biscuits and gravy are slept on. They're actually so good.
They are. They're so delicious. They're so easy and cheap to make.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm all over the place when it comes to like my favorite go-to. I just love breakfast in general. Like I'll eat French toast. It'll bounce between whatever I'm craving.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You put some pancakes in front of me or some French toast or breakfast items in general, I'm chowing, man. I just won't eat breakfast at breakfast time.
You just don't eat in the morning?
I do not eat in the morning. My body just does not do well in the morning with it. Come around maybe 11:30. I'm starting ready to function and eat, and my body's ready to accept the food.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm kind of the same way. I'm more of a brunch guy.
Yeah.
Not so much like
Nice
7:30.
mimosa
I'm
in
making
there.
pancakes.
You know.
No, well, speak for yourself. I got to drive.
I just get to go sit in the office all day.
Yeah, it's easier to do
Air
that.
conditioned and heated.
Yeah.
My coworkers actually made fun of me the other day because I came to work and it was 18, 19 degrees outside, right? And I came to work in a short sleeve shirt. No jacket, nothing, just short sleeve shirt. And he's like, "What the heck, dude? It's 19 degrees out there." I said, "Yeah, out there. In here, you guys have it like 85." I looked at him. I said, "Listen, have you not noticed a theme? You've worked with me for almost 2 years. Have you not noticed a theme? Summertime, I come in sweaters and long sleeve shirts because you guys have it as 30-something degrees inside. Wintertime, you guys have the heat launched as high as it'll go. So I'm coming in my short sleeve shirts."
Well, that's a weird place to come.
Well, yeah, but you know, gotta do what I gotta
do. I mean,
oh my god, I might as well get paid.
When you're going into those stores like that, like department stores, grocery stores, anywhere during the summertime, they're always way too cold.
So, do you know why?
Because the doors are always opening and letting in hot ass air. There's people.
So, when you have a big building, okay, and you want the temperature to be comfy at 67, 70 degrees, right? You have to get the AC rolling very cold because, one, it's big. Two, typically with those buildings, there is a lot of people. A lot of body heat. Raises the temperature for it. And then, yes, also to tag along in there, you have the doors always opening. If it's 100 degrees out, you got the door opening, closing, opening, closing, opening, closing, closing. It's going to leak out. You got to keep it cold. So if it's a store that doesn't have a lot of in and outs, going in and out, in and out, in and out, ooh, in and out, going in and outs. Oh, sorry.
This is just a food episode now.
then the building is going to be much colder than another building because there's no airflow getting some of that cold air out of there. I remember, again, growing up, I grew up going to church. I remember having to get to the church building early, because my dad was an usher. He was one of the head ushers. We had to get there like 2 hours before church, and my dad would have to go and turn the AC on 2 hours before church, and he'd have to put it to like 60 degrees. And by the time we would leave that building, I was sweating because it was so hot because there's so many people in the building. And
I believe it.
the AC was still set at 60 degrees the whole time.
Yeah, I believe it. That sounds about right. People, whenever we get guests here at the house, especially when we're at the apartment, they always have to put on sweaters or ask for a blanket because we keep it so
Oh,
cold
my
here.
kids are the same way. My kids are always coming in. It's so cold. It's so cold. I'm like, go put some clothes on. Go put a blanket on.
Anything but touch the thermostat.
You touch my thermostat, you're dead.
we
That's simple.
at the apartment before we got the house, we would always keep it at like 65, 64 constantly
Okay.
during the summertime, especially.
Yeah, that's where I keep my house.
Even during the winter time, like if we were still in the apartment, it would be flipped to heat, but it'd be set to 65.
So my house is set to 68 right now. It doesn't go higher than that. It doesn't go lower than that. Right.
That's just a sweet spot or what?
Right. That's for me and my wife both to be happy because I'm a cold body person. She's more of a warm body person. But for us both to stay happy and comfy, 68 has always worked for us.
Yeah, for me, I'm too warm all the time. Like whenever I go to hug Bailey and stuff like that, she'll be like, "Jesus Christ, you're like burning up." So
yeah.
to me, the cold is like my sweet spot. I love
My wife was like, right before the podcast, she was like, "Babe, you are gonna get so cold down there. It's like 20 something degrees out. You're gonna be so cold." I was like, "No, I have my sweats on, my Under Armour shirt on, my hoodie. I'm good. I'm like a freaking polar bear. I'll be fine." And I'm actually very comfortable right now. Like you can tell it's cold, right? It's cold, but I am comfortable. I am not too hot. I am not cold, and I'm very comfortable in where I'm at right now. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, granted, my nose is running.
As the PC heats up, it's gonna warm up the room a little
There,
bit.
yeah. No, my PC runs cold because of how cold it gets in here.
Was it like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I think when the temperature really dropped down over here. We just turned the AC off completely and opened the windows.
I don't
around
remember if
the
you
whole
remember
house.
the other day. We were in the tournament for Delta Force.
Yeah.
And we had finished and we were talking. I was like, "Boys, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go." That's because
Yeah,
it
I
was
do
like
remember that.
4 degrees outside, and I'm out my room. My stream room is not completed yet, so I haven't got the wall up with the insulation for where my stream room is at. So it's literally in the garage, and it was 4 degrees there, and I had the heater running and everything, like a little like space heater, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't feel my fingers, my nose. I couldn't feel. I was just like, okay, we got our games out of the way, guys. I'm out. Bye.
Well, it makes sense now why you can run everything at ultra.
Right. It doesn't get hot.
It's not heating up.
It doesn't
It
get
stays
hot.
nice and cold.
It stays at like 33 degrees.
See, mine gets up to like during Tarkov or even like Stalker 2 when I'm playing that. Like it's gotten up to I think like 60 degrees Celsius, which is still like really cold as far as like a running hot PC gets. It's kind of remarkable considering the last PC would constantly be like in the 90s.
It's amazing what an upgrade will do for everything.
This one's got a nice AIO on it though. Nice little water cooler.
Better for as much as you spent on that.
Jesus Christ, dude. You're telling me this thing was expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Still paying it off.
I know. You told me what you paid on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag stints.
Yeah, stints. Where you at, buddy? I'm always shouting you guys out on Twitter, man.
Yeah. Hashtag stints. I need another one.
So, did you get a chance to look at that list I sent you?
I did.
Or watch that trailer?
Yeah. I got to watch some of the trailer. I didn't watch the whole thing yet.
Okay. You didn't need to watch the whole thing. You just need to watch a little bit of it.
Yeah. I got the gist of that. But food. Yeah. My name's not Chubby for no reason.
What food? What other food topics did you want to bring up?
If you had a choice,
okay,
between Carl's Jr., Wahlburgers, Five Guys, Whataburger, and In-N-Out.
To be fair, To be fair, I've never had Wahlburgers. I don't know if you want to swap that option out with something else.
Okay. No, just take it out completely then.
Okay, so would you say
So,
Five Guys,
Five Guys,
Wahlburgers?
In-N-Out, Whataburger, Carl's Jr., and we can add White Castle because you guys have White Castle down there.
And what is the order? Is it just like my preference, or is it
That you think is the best?
ooh, can we throw Culver's on there?
Oh, Culver's is
That's
good.
a good one.
Culver's is good.
Culver's that's
Culver's
my
is
top pick.
probably top 3. Top 3 for me. Top 3 for
That's
me.
That's my number one pick. Then
Whataburger is my number one. Not Whataburger. Wahlburgers. Wahlburgers.
I was about to say Whataburger.
Well,
For
no.
anybody, you know what? I'm gonna take this clip. I'm gonna put it on TikTok and Twitter.
Yes.
Right here. Whataburger is the most overrated goddamn fast food joint in the world.
And he didn't even look at chat before you said that.
I don't give a
because his wife said Whataburger.
I mean, the part of the problem with Whataburger is the fact that people from Texas and from everyone I've met that is like born and raised here gasses it up like no other. They're like, "Oh, have you had Whataburger yet? You have to have it."
So that's how I feel about In-N-Out. Being from California,
it's just In-N-Out. That's all it is. It's just In-N-Out with spicy ketchup.
Yep, and that's how I feel about Slap-It chicken sandwiches. Okay. That's how I feel about In-N-Out. Being born and raised from California, like everybody just gasses the crap out of In-N-Out, right? But if it was in my choice, I would pick Mark Wahlburgers, like his place first. That he has absolutely delicious burgers. Then Five Guys, and then In-N-Out.
Okay. I think In-N-Out, because I mean I'm from California too.
I think I would actually put Jack in the Box at 4.
Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
Okay, well we got to talk about that later. You got some problems. That's wild, dude.
Dude, Jack in the Box tacos? What?
Jack in the Box tacos are actually not that bad. Out of the ones you suggested, right? Obviously, for me, Culver's is gonna be the top one. Culver's is the best damn fast food restaurant in the world, in my opinion. They're just consistent.
I haven't had one since I lived in Illinois.
When I look at, and me and Bailey talked about this the other day because I was ranting about the same topic. When I look at these fast food restaurants and like put them on like a tier list, one of the main components for me is going to be consistency. I can go to any Culver's anywhere,
you get the same
most likely going to get the same consistent quality. Whataburger, it's consistent. It's just
consistently
plain. It's just plain to me. Like they don't do anything interesting, right? McDonald's, they don't do anything interesting either, but they're relatively consistent. They're always mid, like never great. Yeah. You get what you pay for, and you don't ever expect much from McDonald's.
That's true. Except for an upset stomach, maybe once in a while.
Yeah, Taco Bell's the same way.
Taco Bell's the same way. Yeah.
Jack in the Box for me is kind of the same way. Carl's Jr. I haven't eaten Carl's Jr. in years, but they have some decent burgers.
Double Western burger. That was my go-to.
Like it's pretty good, and it tastes all right. It doesn't taste old or whatever.
That Whataburger comment.
Dude, I hate Whataburger so much. I've had it maybe 2 or 3 times since I moved here. And I mean, I've lived here for like 3 years now. It's just not good. Like, and part of the problem is people gas it up. And this is another one that'll get people fired up too. Texas barbecue is not that good either.
No,
that's another one that people
Kansas City's barbecue is better.
Oh, Texas barbecue is the best barbecue in the world. You don't know what barbecue is till you have it. No, you're stupid.
Disagree.
St. Louis barbecue is great.
It is. Yeah.
All right, Kansas City barbecue.
City barbecue
is also good.
Yeah.
Like those styles of barbecue is fantastic. I make St. Louis ribs. They're great.
They're
better than any ribs I've had here.
Yeah. So on that topic of making stuff, me and my wife actually will not go to a steak restaurant unless it's like a 3 money mark, right? Like if you look at thing, we talked on a truck.
No, that's Ohio.
Yeah, come on. It's not. It's actually really good. But we won't. We won't go to Texas. We won't go to Longhorns. We'll go to Texas Roadhouse every once in a while because of the biscuits, right? We won't go to Outback. We don't go to stuff like that because let's be honest, I can make a better steak at home for cheaper, and I don't. Ooh, excuse me, and I don't have to go anywhere. Hiccup. And I don't have to go anywhere for it. Now, if I'm going to go to like an actual steakhouse, Ruth Chris, such like that, that's a little bit different, right? They do a little bit more than I can do. So like stuff like that. But all in all, though, you and Bailey are going to go to dinner tonight. What is in no money? No option, no care, no money. Doesn't matter. Where are you going?
Bailey knows my pick for sure. It's there's not a ton of these restaurants. I don't know where else they are other than Chicago, um, or here in Austin. I think they got some in LA, or they got one or two in LA or something like that, and like the other big cities like New York. It's a restaurant called Three Forks, and it's
We
up
have one
there
here.
with, yeah, it's up there with Ruth Chris, like as far as quality goes. I've never been to Ruth Chris. I hear about it. Um, Whenever we go, we spend probably like $400 for dinner.
I just want to say my pick would be melting pot.
The melting pot. I don't know if anyone hasn't had that. That's a
Fondue.
like, yeah, fondue, like create your own dinner basically. Like they bring out your assortments, they'll mix your fondue cheese for you. Um and depending on your cooking style after the cheese, that's the appetizer, you have to cook it yourself for whatever variation of it is. We
Huh.
do a word that I can't pronounce, but basically we just boil our stuff in oil. But like
Okay.
fry it.
Yeah.
We go there a lot too. But like the other place, Three Forks, like last time we went, we only go for rare occasions, right? Like
Yeah.
anniversary, birthday, whatever big promotion we've gone for. Um, we go there, and last time we went, it was a Wagyu New York strip that was, I think, $180, $160. We got some champagne, and then Bailey got filet mignon, and I think that was like also like $120, $100. So like it's the best steak I've ever had in my life. Like you can't
Wagyu's
eat
good.
normal steak. You eat that, and then you go back to not Texas Roadhouse, because honestly their steaks aren't bad for what you pay for.
Correct.
But you go to like an Outback. I've never had good Outback. I've only ever had bad Outback. Or you go to Chili's and you get a sirloin from Chili's.
Nah.
Like you might as well just chop like your thumbs off, because you're like you
Just
don't
dump
deserve
hot
to
sauce in your
be.
mouth.
Yeah,
Burn it. Burn your
yeah.
mouth. So I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant because it's fairly close to my house, and there's only one of them. But there is a restaurant, kind of the same thing with you at Three Forks. It's a high end restaurant, steak and seafood. That we only go for, like you said, anniversaries, birthdays. We went when my wife graduated. Like me and her, we went for when she graduated nursing school, like promotions. The special occasions, like you were just saying. But it's the same type of thing. Like I got lobster ravioli and it was like 75 bucks, something like that. And she got filet mignon one time. She got a deconstructed lobster noodle dish because of gluten-free allergies and stuff like that. So they like deconstructed it and took all the gluten stuff out of it for her. One of her coworkers' husband is like the head cook there, so we got some good hookups when it comes to like, oh hey, you need to come during this time for this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's one
Oh
of our
yeah.
bigger ones. But no money thing involved. I would find the best sushi restaurant that I could find, and I would kill some sushi.
Like Nobu.
Yeah, Nobu's
Nobu.
good.
I want to go to Nobu.
There
But-
we have two places here, about 25, 30 minutes from my house. That are, one is all you can eat sushi. It's $27 a person for an adult. All you can eat. And it's not like walk up to a ice box and there's pre-made rolls. It's, you get a menu, you sit down, you get a menu, you order what rolls you want, they go and bring it. It's not going to be a full roll, you get like a half roll, right? Because it's all you can eat. And you sit there and you just order and order and order and order and order. And there's another, the other place is an all you can eat sushi and Thai food place. And it has robots as servers, and you put your order in on an iPad. And then they have the bartenders, and they have a couple of like actual human servers just in case the robots mess up, because that does happen. But they're actually really good too. Same style. You just order your food through the iPad.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
See, we're not Bailey's just now kind of. I grew up loving seafood. It's probably important to say that. I grew up eating trout and bass and, catfish and stuff like that. Like, we were a seafood family. Bailey, not so much. So she's trying a lot of seafood for the first time recently, or like within this past year. She had salmon for the first time not that long ago.
Salmon's delicious.
Salmon's great. I love salmon.
Yep.
We have salmon fillets downstairs in the fridge that we're gonna have for lunch tomorrow. She liked it. She's
How do you cook it?
dipping her toes into it. Oh, we just throw it in the air fryer because we're lazy.
With what though?
With what? Oh, I throw shit. What seasoning do I throw on there? I have this seasoning my mom got me for Christmas 2 years ago that I just throw on there. It's a seasoning. I don't remember the name of it, but like their bottles are like chicken shit, bullshit, so on, no shit,
Yeah.
whatever. They're making fun of it, whatever. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
one of them that's like I think it's called good shit, and it just says on the back it's like good on everything. Throw it on seafood, especially, and this and that. So I just throw that on there. It's super, super basic. I
So
don't really
last time I
go
made
hard
salmon
on
in
it.
the air fryer, I had like the wood plank, like a small wood plank for the fillet.
Yeah.
I put that in there. I put 3 like circle slices of lemon on top of it,
Mm.
and then covered it in teriyaki sauce.
Oh,
And then
that sounds
and then
good.
put it in the air fryer and let it do its thing. It came out, it was all sticky, tacky. Took the lemon off, and it was just so delicious.
Yeah.
I'm a very citrusy person though too, so I like lemon pepper. I like lemon dressings. Like anything citrusy is I love the citrus, man.
See, I like seafood all different types of way. Like a lot of people say they like seafood, but they won't like calamari or like crab or other things like that. I even like that stuff too. The only thing I kind of don't really care for is sushi. Personally, I just don't care for it.
You don't like the rice? What?
No, I don't know.
The
I just don't care
texture?
for it.
Do you
It's
like
not the texture.
do you like the not the actual sushi, but like the Nigerian, like the raw fish
So I've had
separately?
it before, and it's not bad. Like it doesn't taste bad or anything like that. I just don't. I don't know.
One of my go-tos is it's seared tuna. Is one of my go-tos.
I like tuna.
So
Tuna's good.
that what they do is they put it in like the pot sticker sauce, right? And then they
Yeah.
just sear it all around the outside, just a quick sear, and then cut it and then serve it to you with a jalapeno or something, like a slice of jalapeno on it or something.
Yeah,
And then I like
that's good. I've had that.
Jalapeno yellowfin is really good as well.
I think so. The last time I ate sushi, which is one of the few times I've had it, was this place called Iji in Reno before I moved out here. And I mean, it's just like how you were saying yours is all you could eat, buffet style place. They bring you out like a half roll. My mom, my sister, they got like different like assorted rolls or whatever with like a bunch of different things on there. I had like California roll.
That's not sushi.
I had like some eel. I had
That's good.
tuna. I had a couple other things, and it didn't hit. Like people love sushi. Sounds like you were really enjoying of
Love
sushi.
sushi, man.
It just didn't hit for me the same way.
One thing
I-
that would come close to me in sushi would be a good pizza and a wing. More the wing, like more the chicken wing than the pizza. That's my next go to, and then a burger.
Burgers are good. I like burgers.
I'll do it myself though.
So like back on the seafood thing, like Bailey, I don't see her trying sushi for a while. She just tried shrimp for the first time also like maybe a month ago.
Okay.
Um
Like cooked
and
shrimp or
for
shrimp
Christmas,
cocktail.
cooked shrimp.
Okay.
Cooked shrimp and lots of butter.
Lots of butter. Like a scampi almost.
Yeah.
Okay,
Similar to that. And then she had some lobster with me for Christmas.
You guys had
And she
caviar
didn't-
too,
she-
right?
Yeah, caviar. We just had caviar for the first time. She loves caviar. She is obsessed with caviar now, right? And
I knew she was
it's really
bougie.
good.
I knew
It's
she was
really
bougie.
I highly recommend everybody if you got $100 lying around, get some caviar. You just happen to have that lying around.
Yeah, right.
The other thing was the lobster, right? She didn't care for the lobster,
Okay.
but lobster's not for everybody.
It's not. It's
I
not.
like lobster. I'm a big fan of lobster.
So-
It's just too damn expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I like crab, but I hate all the work you have to do to get such a little amount of food.
You're not efficient at it.
No, I'm not. I suck
It's
at
so
it.
easy.
I suck
so
at it. My
easy.
wife is great at it. Loves it. She'll eat it all day. I suck at it. I'd get frustrated with it. I'm like, you know what? Just give me a freaking lobster tail that I just have to put my fork in and put it in my mouth, and I'm good. That's it.
I'll put a buffet out of business with their crabs, dude.
Yeah.
If they have like an all you can eat crab buffet, I'll eat plates of it, and it'll go quick.
See,
That I
so
could
here's the thing
devour
though.
it.
Like, if I'm going to a buffet where I don't have to pay like per pound, and I'm paying one price, right? I'll eat it. But if I'm going to a crab restaurant, like right, and I'm gonna sit there and they're like, "Oh, 1 pound of crab for $37.50," and I'm like, "Okay, that's not gonna feed me."
Yeah, it's too expensive.
Right? That's
Too
like
much work.
exactly when I can sit there and be like, "Okay, give me 2 lobster tails for $47." And I'll be more
Yeah.
full with that than I will be with a pound of crab legs. How about
Yeah.
clams?
No, it's clams. I like clams.
Love clams. Some butter and some hot sauce.
I like oysters.
Oysters
I like
are
clams.
amazing.
I like
Love
mussels.
oysters. Wife hates
Um,
oysters. Hates clams. She hates oysters. Hates clams.
What is it? Just like the way you eat them?
It's the
The way you
texture.
eat them's gross.
She doesn't like the texture. She doesn't like the feel
texture?
of like they feel. She says they feel like a loogie going down her throat.
Yeah.
She doesn't like that. She doesn't like that.
They do have a pretty nasty texture,
Yeah,
but they taste good.
they're so delicious.
Put a little bit of salt on them.
salt,
then,
butter, hot sauce.
That's all you need. You just need a little bit of salt on them. They're delicious.
Oh, I put hot sauce in everything, man.
Hot sauce is good. What's your go-to hot sauce?
Texas Pete's or Louisiana hot.
Louisiana hot's good.
Yeah,
like that one.
Texas Pete is another one, and then if there's nothing else around, I'll go with like a Crystal.
Cristal,
Yeah.
huh? Okay.
The rest of my family, they're all about Tabasco, and I'm just like, that's just vinegar. There's no taste to that.
What about like Tapatio?
Yeah, I like Tapatio. It's not
Okay.
my go-to, but if it's there, I'll use it.
What about barbecue sauce? Like, do you have any Kinder's products?
I do. That's actually our favorite barbecue sauce, and
That's cool.
some of our favorite marinades is Kinder. Yeah.
The only reason I asked because earlier when we were before we had dinner, that's what we were talking about too. So it's like, oh,
Kinder's
Bailey
very
went over to the
gluten.
fridge.
They're very gluten friendly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we use a lot of that because of my wife's gluten. It's not her. She doesn't have a gluten allergy, but she has a gluten sensitivity with a different autoimmune disease that she has, that gluten does trigger it.
Okay.
So she doesn't have to, but she doesn't want to have the effects of the other autoimmune. It definitely helps
Yeah, that
for it.
makes
So,
sense. Why suffer?
right, exactly. And like even like recently, she's like, okay, well, let's just like slowly work myself back into it, and then she'll eat something that she's been dying to have because she wants to just have it again, and then she's like, I regret that. I'm now suffering, and I hurt, and I'm in pain, and babe, help me.
Yeah. Bailey
Uh,
has that problem too with I don't know like when this happened or what, but she has like an egg intolerance now.
huh.
Like she gets like a really bad upset stomach when
Okay.
she has
That happens
any
to my wife
eggs.
as well.
It's 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 peculiar. It baffles me because it just happened randomly.
Yeah. Hmm.
We don't know like what caused it or what. And like we've tried all sorts of things to like make eggs a little
Has
bit
she ever
easier
been
for her.
tested for thyroid or like Hashimoto's?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because that's what my wife has. Is I think it's Hashimoto's, something like that. And eggs do that to her as well. For it,
Maybe it's something we need to look
it's
into.
a thyroid thing.
You hear that, babe? We got something we need to look into.
I'm no doctor, but just from experience.
I thanks to Google, I could be a doctor in 30 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of it leads to your dying, but
Yes, everything.
you will be dead in 24 hours.
The scale of how that stuff escalates
It's
is so
so
crazy.
fast, dude.
So
I have a
crazy.
splinter in my pinky. Well, if you don't get it out in 20 minutes, you are dead from XYZ disease.
Yep.
Wait, what?
I popped this pimple on my head and it scabbed over and hasn't gone away for a week. Well, you could have this issue or you could have a terminal brain cancer. Like,
There's
wow,
no in
okay.
between. There's no in between.
That's,
Either, hey, you just need to let it heal, or you're dead in next week, dude.
yeah. It couldn't just say like, wait.
Or go ask your provider.
Yeah. Schedule a medical appointment.
Yeah.
Anything other than like, hey, you have one of the worst things ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So wild.
It's uncurable.
That's why I only use Chat GPT for my medical information now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like any reasonable adult.
Any reasonable human being would do. Yeah, ChatGPT. So let's switch over gears a little bit. We've talked food enough, I think.
Thankfully, I already ate. Otherwise, I'd be ordering something right now.
Yeah. I had tacos today, so I'm good. I'm good.
We had a disgusting Pizza Hut. Ugh.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we switching over to
list?
my
yeah. So
I
get a text message from chat just so you guys know where we're going, kind of a little bit here, because we are going to switch gears a little bit from away from food. I get a text message from Reptilian about 30 minutes before podcast, about an hour before podcast.
About an hour.
About an hour before podcast, he's like, "Hey, I have some talking points I wanted to go over." I'm like, "Oh, okay. You want to send me the subject so I can kind of, study up a little bit for him and kind of be able to talk about it?" And he sends me a link and he's like, "This is all you need." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Maybe it's going to be something simple, right?" I open the link and I'm like, "Bro, this thing's like a novel." And then he sends me a video. He's like, "Oh yeah, and watch this." And it's like a 12-minute video. I think it's only like 10 minutes and 47 seconds, but
it's to be fair, I didn't watch the whole video either.
So,
but that game specifically is the one I was like. So the topic basically is going to be like, what is your most anticipated game?
That's where I thought you were going to go with it.
Right. And I sent you the list because like I watched the Video Game Awards. I see all the announcements on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook as well. I'm very keyed into the video game world, like so much so that I see all these things as they get announced. So I already have my games of 2025 that I am
Looking
like
forward to.
looking forward to. Yeah, like the games that I'm already saying are going to win game of the year.
Oh,
And
for
that's why I was like,
2025.
yeah, that's why I'm like, all right, maybe he's not as tuned in as me because
No, I'm not.
this is just something I care a lot about. That's why I'm
I'll be
always
honest. No,
so
I'm not.
keyed in.
I'm not. And when he sent this
That's
to
why I
me,
sent
so
you the
chat, we're going to
list.
talk about some games that are launched to come out in 2025. I saw this list. I'm not going to lie, Rep. I saw this list, and my inner child came out when I saw some of these names.
So there's a lot of indie games on there, right? That you're probably not going to see a trailer on YouTube for, right? It's some things that you have to basically follow a studio for a long time. That's why the list is so long, right?
Yeah.
Because the way the gaming world works now is you have like maybe 5 to 10 major titles that release throughout the year that get super published, and then you have 101 Dalmatians worth of indie games that come out that nobody ever hears about that are hidden gems.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I sent the list.
Absolutely. So I'm interested in Sea Fantasy.
Sea Fantasy. Okay.
That comes out in 3 days.
Okay.
Okay. I'm interested in that. I want to see what that is all about. But this is where my inner kid started to come out. Donkey Kong Country returns.
Really? On what platform? Not PlayStation.
PS5,
Nintendo?
PS4, Xbox, and Switch, and PC.
Which Donkey Kong Country? The first one?
Donkey Country Returns HD.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first one.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
January 16th. Okay. Then there was. I'm not a big Final Fantasy person. I never really played
I'm
them.
not either.
But they have another one. They have a Rebirth coming out. So that's everybody. The most gamers are probably looking forward to that one.
Keep in mind, chat listeners, audio listeners, everybody, that Final Fantasy, the previous Rebirth, I don't know which one it was, but last year was nominated for Game of the Year.
It was 13, wasn't it?
I don't even know.
And this is 7.
There's
which
so
is
many
7
of
was a
them.
big one. 7 was a big. If I remember correctly, 7 was a really big one for Final Fantasy. Could be completely wrong, but I never played them. But I
very
thought that was a big one. Star Wars Episode 1. That might be a pretty decent one. They usually are pretty good. However, if it doesn't have a multiplayer, I probably won't play it. I'm not a big single player game person.
Okay.
Like I enjoy them. I enjoy the graphics, but I don't. I play, like I said last week on the episode, I play games to play with friends. I've never been a solo player. Like I've never played Assassin's. I've played Assassin's Creed, but I've never played Assassin's Creed. I've never played any of those games.
Yeah.
Then February, Assassin's Creed's comes out in February. Shadows. Monster Hunter comes out. That looked really interesting, by the way.
That's my game of 2025, by the way, chat.
That's where I thought you were going with it. For me, for February, the game that I'm looking forward to, because I was huge into this and probably was the only top side down game that I really got into to play, was Sid Meier's Civilization.
Sid Meier's Civilization. Oh yeah, the new Civ coming out.
Yeah,
you're looking forward to that?
I may try it. I just, like I said, as a nostalgia, right? Because that's what I used to play growing up as a kid, was the original Sid Meier's. I remember when that game came out, and I loved that game. That was, like I said, one of the only like top down type games that I actually thoroughly enjoyed growing up with.
The only reason I was a little off standing there is because I don't know many people that are a fan of Civ.
Oh yeah, it's a good game.
I never played it.
Good game. A lot of these other games I'm not familiar with. Like I said, Assassin's Creed, Monster Hunter, Sid Meier. Those are really the only ones I really know about. One that I think may surprise people, and I think will probably get a lot of attention, weirdly enough, is going to be Ambulance Life.
Wait, what month is that?
That's in February. It's February 6th.
Okay.
That's when that comes out. It's a paramedic simulator.
Ambulance Life Paramedic Simulator.
Yes.
Interesting.
It comes out for PS5, Xbox, and PC on February 6th.
You know, a lot of these simulator games really, really pop off.
Yes. What's the one that we play? The cop one that we played for so long.
I didn't play
Ready,
anything like that.
Ready or Not.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
No, you didn't play that.
I've
I
never
thought you played
played
that
that
with
one.
us. Ready or
No,
Not's
I've
really
seen
good. So
it.
you're a SWAT team, and you have to go
Yeah, no,
into
I've
to
seen
an
that
active
one.
situation and differentiate between the bad guys and the good and the hostages, and not die.
Did you play the trading card simulator?
I
TCG
did
Card
not. I
Shop?
wanted to, but I did not. I do want to get into that
Okay.
one. I do want to
So
play
that one took the internet by storm
Yes,
for
it
like a
did.
month. And I think the category still does really good on Twitch.
But here's why though. They launched that game at such a perfect timing because
Yes.
they launched it right before MagicCon.
Yep.
Okay. Plus, they launched it 2 weeks after a lot of big name streamers switched like the streamers that would stream from like early morning to afternoon, like evening, right? They took their stream and literally saved the last 3 to 4 hours of their stream to all play Magic the Gathering together.
See, I didn't know anything about
Right
that.
before that game launched. So all of these big 1,000+ viewer streamers were playing Magic the Gathering right before MagicCon. MagicCon hits, they still come back with a bunch of new cards and a big hype over ripping boxes and doing this, and they launched that game. And it just took off because of that.
Yeah. It still does good. It still does
Yeah.
very well. By the way, chat, I think it's like $5-10 on Steam. Great game.
It's not expensive.
If it's something that interests you, it's good. It has a lot of
It's
mod
like
support.
it's like a Sims game where you're building a trading card company.
Yeah.
It's fun. A lot of just to blow time.
So Sid 7, you said you're looking at Ambulance Life,
Monster Hunter, and
Monster Hunter.
Assassin's Creed always does well when it first launches, and then it kind of fizzles out.
No comment.
All right.
I'm not going to contribute anything on Assassin's Creed.
March. Let's see. There's a lot of these I've never heard of. Like I said, though,
there's a lot
of indie games.
Yeah.
So
like for March, nothing.
Tales of the
stood out to
Shire
me.
potentially, Lord of the Rings game. Could potentially be pretty good.
Oh my god, I didn't see. They need to put Lord of the Rings.
Yep,
First.
I know. March 25th, Tales of the Shire, Lord of the Rings.
PC console.
PC.
Wait.
Yeah, so it's gonna come on all consoles and then PC.
Oh no, I did see this. Yeah, I'm not playing that.
It could be cool, but I have a feeling it's going to be another Hogwarts game.
Yeah, that's probably why I won't play that. Personally, I hope it does well. I think we need more Lord of the Rings games. But I probably won't play that. It comes out March 25th if anyone is curious. It's a little bit of a cartoony like Lord of the Rings. Takes place in the Shire with the hobbits. It looks really cool. I saw the trailer. They announced it at the Game Awards, I think.
I would assume so. I mean, it's one of those big things.
Ooh, there's like nothing else coming out after that though.
No, then you have April. Maybe Detective Dotson might be pretty decent, but I feel like that's just going to be another one of those like indie, like Among Us type games.
The industry's run by indie games now, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking at this
now,
big empty gap between May and
October. I mean, let's be realistic. May and December. Because nobody's going to play Double Dragon Revive, man.
I don't know, maybe.
Let's be honest.
I don't know what that is.
Let's be honest. But May to December, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at what could come out.
To be fair, the to be announced, all of the TBAs, those can come out anytime in those months.
Absolutely.
To be fair, though, May through August is typically not time frames that
Borderlands 4 comes out in December. I guarantee it.
You think so?
November, December.
Okay. Well, what do you? So, without going too much into the TBAs, just because I don't 2XKO is actually going to be a really big one. That's the.
I want to
League of
look. I
Legends
want to
Riot
check out
one.
Karma San Diego
Okay.
because, again, growing up as a kid, was one of the first games on the floppy disk that we had to play. Was where time is Carmen San Diego, where in the world is Carmen San Diego. So it probably won't be good at all,
Right.
but for nostalgia purposes, I want to check it out. Okay.
Okay. I don't want to go too much into the TBAs.
Yeah.
Just because there's not really anything. I mean, that list is long. Like, we'll be here forever if we
Yeah.
go into that list.
I mean, we got time.
But let's stick with what's announced.
Doom.
Doom.
That doesn't have a date yet.
It doesn't, but it did say 2025. So
It does.
that pretty much means it's going to be Q4.
Here's a game that I think is going to sneak up on people, and I think it's going to be pretty decent as a single player game. Dune. Awakening.
Dune? I think that's an MMO.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's an MMO.
It would be really good. It would be really cool as an MMO, actually. If it goes like based off the kind of like the movie with as an MMO, be kind of cool. Be kind of cool.
Pretty sure that's what it was supposed to be. Like Asmongold, I think, has covered a lot about that one. Dying Light: The Beast. Did you watch the trailer for that?
I did.
That one looks really good. I haven't played Dying Light since the first one.
Since the first one came out, that's always been a decent game.
That game, honestly, that game. If you like zombies, that game hits every time.
Yeah, it does. It's a really good zombie game. Listen, you gotta be about that fast food simulator.
What?
Fast food restaurant simulator? What? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Come on now.
All right. I don't want to let this go. I don't want to let you go over these two right here. So Elden Ring Night Rain, I'm pretty excited for. Right? I'm pretty excited for that one. But this might resonate with you. I am a huge let me preface this. All of the games that I'm the biggest fan of, I don't play. Except for Tarkov and Rainbow Six.
Yeah. Same.
I don't play Halo and I don't play Fable. I am a huge Fable fan. And I am so happy that they are rebooting it. But they're taking too long. I was in high school when they announced it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's the same thing with GTA 6.
I'm not a fan of GTA.
That game has been that game has been advertised to be coming out for the last 10 years.
Yeah, they've been pushing that one for a while too. Same with Elder Scrolls. I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan.
There's another game on this list that I think may be really good just because of based off of what I've seen of the current game they have out. And it's the Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
I don't know if
you've already out.
No, The Great Circle. It's the second one. Is it out? That's that one.
Indiana Jones: The Great Circle.
Yeah,
it came out.
That game is sick. I've seen a lot of gameplay on it while I'm watching people on Twitch play the Indiana Jones game. That game is sick. That game is really nice.
Yeah, that one came out, I think, like a month ago.
Yeah, it came out at the beginning of December. That's when I started seeing people do that.
People were pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it was
I
really
didn't play it because I didn't play it because Starfield pissed me off with Bethesda. I didn't want to be disappointed. That it just didn't really interest me that much. Okay. So it's coming out on PS5.
Yeah. Later. It's only on PC right now.
Yeah.
Lon will probably play NASCAR.
That's wild, dude.
Because apparently he's all of a sudden into like this like driving games all of a sudden. Don't get me wrong, I like me a good left turn, and I play fantasy NASCAR every year. Won it this year actually.
Are you a Metroid fan by chance?
I am not. I never was.
Okay.
But I did see that
Prime
one.
4.
Did see that one.
Metroid Prime 4. I'm pretty excited for that. I'm just excited to see it. I never beat Dread.
Yeah, I beat drifting, son. My son will be happy with Pokemon Legends coming out. He'll like that one. He'll probably ask for that.
I need to finish beating the Pokemon games I have. Man, you know what? That's my resolution for 2025.
Beat them like so many times. It's ridiculous.
I beat the original.
I've never played Pokemon in my life.
Oh, I love Pokemon. Another game that I love, but I don't play.
It's so funny. Like I was never growing up. I was never into Pokemon. I was never into Magic. I was never into like stuff like that. My son and my daughter both love Pokemon. I was never into anime. My two youngest kids love anime. Like, I
I'm not really into anime. Not like Hunter x Hunter or any of those other big ones like
they have
Demon
Hunter
Slayer
x
like
Hunter's coming
that.
out with a game.
I know that's gonna be big, but like Naruto, that's the one I watched.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
My
it's
son loves it. He has pajamas, Naruto pajamas. He has a Naruto shirt. Like, he has a Naruto poster for his room. Loves it.
really
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite one, but it's also like the only one that I've really sat down and actually watched.
So there's a game on here that I think has potential. Because I've played the first version of it and I liked it,
Okay.
but it just didn't. If they put the work into the game, I think it could carry be pretty popular. It's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Oh yeah. The second one.
Yeah, the first one was good. I had fun. I had fun playing it.
That's
But
gonna be a big one
if
because
they
the
if
first
they
one was
put
huge.
if they put the work into it and work with their anti-cheat system, I think that game could be pretty good. There was another vampire game in here that I saw. I don't remember where it went, but I like vampires. So I'll
So
try it.
if you have to pick one, like your top game of the year, assuming it comes out even, right?
Out of this
What do you
list.
think it is?
Out of this
Yeah,
list. Um,
because things could get delayed, especially on those to be announced side of the list.
if GTA 5 6 comes out, that's winning game of the year.
No, not winning game of the year, but like for you,
Oh,
like what's your like what
like
is
the
your
game I'm looking
game?
forward to the most.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you though. GTA 6 will win game of the year if it comes out this year. I don't think there's anything that'll beat it, personally.
Honestly, there's not very many on here. Probably Masquerade. Like I said, I'd be looking forward to like run Civ a couple times. Look at Carmen San Diego. You know, there's a lot of these games I don't play.
Okay.
Um, I don't play the type of games they are because a lot of these games are single player games.
Old man life.
Yeah, I mean,
Old
I'll
man
just be
vibes.
honest. Like, um, if I do get on to play, I'm gonna like, for example, okay, the other night when we got done with our podcast, right, I was gonna be on for another 2.5 hours after the podcast to play games. Everybody went to bed. Everybody got off. I went to the 2-3 discords that I hang out in. I joined Deadly Gamer for a little bit.
I saw that.
He
I
got
checked
into
out.
his raid and then was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get off." I was like, "Oh, okay. Have a good night, man." So then I went and played Marvels by myself, and I was just like, "This is dumb. I don't want to play by myself."
I agree. That game is dumb.
No, the game is fun. That game is a blast. It was dumb because I was sitting there by myself, not talking to anybody, not entertaining. I'm like, okay, I could actually be inside, like hanging out with my kids. I could go hang out with my wife, and
Yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna get off. I'm just gonna get off and go do that, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be the same thing
That makes
tonight. If
sense.
nobody stays on to play games tonight after our podcast is over here, I may just get off and go hang out with the wife until tomorrow when she goes to work. But
That's fair.
if people are gonna play, I may stay and play because I don't work tomorrow, so I may be out. I may be up for a while.
Yeah.
So
The so since you don't know anything about Monster Hunter,
no,
I'm gonna educate you a little bit on it. Because that's my game. So the way that the end of 2024 worked for me was I was gonna start streaming more in December. I was gonna try and stream the whole every day of the month. I didn't get every day, but I have certain content in mind that's gonna carry me until basically until Monster Hunter comes out. Because like a 3,000-hour game right there, 4,000-hour game. That is,
Okay.
I don't even know. I think I put like 1,200 hours in the first one. Which if you don't know about Monster Hunter, there's a bunch of games. It's super huge in Japan, China, something like that. It's not an American Western game by any means. Monster Hunter Wilds. Wait, what's the one that's coming out? Is that Wilds or is that? Do you still have the list up?
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember if it's Wilds or Worlds. I think Worlds is the other one. I think this one's Wilds.
It is
So
Wilds, yes.
Monster Hunter Worlds came out. It was the first one to come out on like major consoles, as well as by major consoles I'm talking about like PC, Xbox, PlayStation. And it was also the introduction of the game to the Western world. Great game. Gage actually is a huge fan of the series, has been playing it for a long time. Now,
Is it a
I
single player
wasn't
game?
sure. No, it's online.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure what to think of it at first when I played it. It looked cool. I was like, fuck it. Gage is getting it. I'll play it. I'll play it with him. Essentially, what you are is you're just a monster hunter. You're a monster hunter. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
You build your character. It has a super in-depth create a character, first of all, with this newest one. Monster Hunter Worlds came out. This is the sequel to Monster Hunter Worlds, which was their biggest game. It's so far. Monster Hunter Wilds is supposed to be bigger and better. They fixed all the things that were wrong with the first one, etc. Now, the way it works is you go and you hunt monsters with your team, or you could do it solo, or you could squad up with randoms. Doesn't really matter. As you kill these monsters, you can then take whatever monster that is, like their body parts, etc. You'll get drops from them, like rare items, depending what you cut off. If you cut like a tail off, and each limb has specific damage qualities and stuff like that. Like you could use your greatsword, your anime style greatsword, to chop the dinosaur that you're fighting's tail off, and then you could harvest the tail, and you'll get a rare loot spawn for it that you might need to upgrade your melee weapon later on, or that you need to create a certain gear set, etc.
Sounds like Destiny.
It's a very grindy game, and it is. At first, I wasn't too sure about it. It's actually a ton of fun. You'll have to watch some gameplay of it. They had a beta a while back. Maybe it's not your game. It might not be. I don't know. But that's the game that I'm looking forward to the most. It resonates with me for some weird reason. It is so enjoyable for me because you could sit there and play it solo. You could sit there and play with your friends. I could have 1,000 hours into it, and I could load in with Chubby, who maybe has 2 hours in it, and we can go and fight. Everything scales to adjust it so it's difficult for you and not super easy for me if I've played way more. So that way we could have like a fair fight still.
That's cool.
It's crazy.
That's cool. I like stuff like that because that was like a big pain point for me with Destiny. Because I don't play the games all the time. I'm not on all the time because of family and stuff like that. And these guys would all day, every day play the game and come home and grind that out and play. And
you mean that you don't wake up at 10 a.m. every Tuesday to grind the Destiny resets and do all of the new raids and nightfalls right when they reset?
No, I'm not like the world first. I've never gotten that.
Yeah.
So, but then I would get on with these guys later that evening, right? And they've already gone through and ran all these, and their light level was so high that they would just blow through level, and I would do nothing. Like I would just okay. I'd have like 15k damage, and they'd have like 300-400k.
It turns into a walking simulator,
right? And I've died 17 times, or I've done absolutely nothing, and I'm just running around picking up loot, and that's it. And it's like
Yeah.
that's no fun. Like I want to get in these fights too. I want to be able to do some damage. I want to help. I want to not have to run around because there's nothing to kill because you guys have killed it in one shot because your light level is 12 times higher than what you're supposed to be. And then we got to where you had to do like some parkour courses, and Queen Viper can tell you, I got stuck and I quit. I could not do the parkour, could never do the parkour. But put me in a multiplayer map with and with some gear, and my goal is to kill other players. Let's go all day long. I'll do that.
No, I feel you on the Destiny 1. That was my game. I used to do the resets. I used to do all that, but then I would go through and I would help carry people like on the LFG servers and stuff, the discords and all that. I would go through and I'd carry people through Trials of Osiris, etc. People need flawlesses. Well, I was good enough back then that I can get you your flawless card. Not so much in Destiny 2, but that's because I didn't play that from the beginning like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
I fell off that game because of like that same reason. Like I had raid teams, everything like that. Well, heaven forbid I don't play for a week because I'm trying. And at the time, like in Destiny 1, I was in high school, so like heaven forbid I have to go to a sporting event one day and then have to get up early the next day for school and then do homework. Right? I'm not going to be able to grind. Right? So then when the weekend comes around and my raid team's ready to go, I'm not at the proper level. Especially after a new expansion or whatever. Or maybe I have at the time I was also playing Black Ops 2 like competitively, like tournaments and stuff. So like heaven forbid I have a tournament over the weekend for that. Like I'm not going to be able to raid. So my team ended up just leaving me behind, and I ended up just turning into a solo player. And that game is
Awful to
if
play
you're not
solo.
doing if you're not doing the strikes or the raids and you're playing solo, like the game's just boring. I'm glad
Agreed.
that game's dying.
Agreed. I mean, Bungie in general is. Nah, I'm not a fan of Bungie any longer.
I feel really bad for Bungie. I'm sorry, any Bungie people ever that maybe any one of you that might ever see this in your lifetime. Like, I feel bad that you guys have been just beaten down like sick dogs ever since Sony bought you. But that's what Sony does
Yep.
to their games and their development teams. It sucks, but hopefully everyone's okay over there.
So
I'm kind of glad that Destiny's dying though.
on my Facebook post, when I posted the other day that we were going to be going live for episode 2 the other day, I had some interactions. And one of the interactions asked me about it when we were going to cover a specific game. And it's not a game that I played. I've maybe played it probably twice ever in my life, and the game is about as old as I am. But they just recently launched a new version of that game. And maybe you've played it. The new Zelda.
Which one?
I have no idea. All I was asked was, when are we going to get some new gameplay talk about the Zelda? And I said, I would have to have played the game first to honestly speak about it. But since you like to play games like that, maybe you have played it.
So I'm a huge Zelda fan. Another game that I also don't play enough of, especially. So new Zelda games, because I want to make sure I get the names right on these games. So we have. Let me make sure I'm getting right. All new Zelda games. I used to play Ocarina of Time, Master Sword Edition. I used to play the Wind Waker, Majora's Mask. I used to play the different seasons one, Oracle of Seasons. That's what it is. And then Oracle of Ages, I played the shit out of too. I have played a ton of Zelda. Now, just trying to make sure I'm getting the right ones again. Okay, I'm not able to find a good list. So I know there's the newest one that's coming out, right? It is like a reboot of Wind Waker. I think it's Echoes of Wisdom. That one I don't think is out yet. It's set to come out. Oh no, it did come out already. I guess it came out September 26, 2024. I haven't played that one. That one I know nothing about. The one before that, which is Tears of the Kingdom, is the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, I played probably like a good 40, 50 hours of that, just running around, screwing off. That one's fun.
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom
The new
follows
one's like
suit.
echoes of something.
Yeah, the new one's Echoes of Wisdom. I haven't played that one. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's supposed to be like a sequel to Wind Waker.
Okay.
I think that's accurate. Um, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are the biggest ones as of late that people really, really resonated with, that people loved. Uh, Tears of the Kingdom I haven't played it, but it has a really good like building mechanic in it. It was something that they took from Breath of the Wild and added this new feature in and perfected it as like the new twist where you could build like automatons and all sorts of things. Um, that game, I've heard great things about it. I've just never played
So
it. Breath of the Wild, I have
says
played.
Echoes of Wisdom is 100.
Is okay. So I mean, I imagine it's good because I don't think there's any bad Zelda games. You know, like it's all personal opinion on them all. Almost every single one of them is a hit, and it
Honestly, I think
serves
I
such
played
a
Zelda
niche.
twice. I couldn't get past the first level, and I
it's
never picked it up again.
it
But this was
serves
also back in like 1990 when
it
I was like
serves a
5.
very niche audience, kind of like Dark Souls, right? Dark Souls has a huge audience now thanks to Elden Ring, but before Elden Ring, it had a very niche audience, only very specific people that like that style of gameplay, that like to be punished, etc. Those are the only people that would play Soulsborne games before Elden Ring. Elden Ring was the game that popularized the franchise for sure, made it
Okay.
much bigger for people. Breath of the Wild did the same thing for Zelda. That's what really launched that game and that genre forward, making the community for it much bigger. You know, Echoes of Wisdom, I'd imagine it's probably like an 8 out of 10. I just don't know anything about it. I don't really buy Nintendo games because they always sell them at full price, and like my Switch is out there in the other room. I just don't fucking play it. Like I said, I need to beat all of my favorite games. I don't play.
That's because Tarkov consumes us.
Tarkov and
And
Rainbow
Rainbow.
Six are the only games that I thoroughly love
I
that I don't play.
basically you're acting as Zelda saving Link.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It's the first time really that you get to play as Zelda. All the other times you play as Link.
I thought Link was Zelda. I'm not
No,
gonna lie.
no. So Zelda's the princess. Link is the Hyrulean boy that you play as.
Huh.
I think there's another one where
Chat,
you
we
play
learned
as
something new
Zelda.
today.
There's another one where you play as Zelda. I think that one is
So then why is it called
Twilight
Zelda if you
Princess,
never
maybe?
play as Zelda?
I don't know.
If you're always
She's
playing as Link, why was the game not called Link?
in some of the old ones, like I think it's like Oracle of Seasons. She's not even in it.
What?
Like she's not even like a main character.
This is like a book series that it mentions a character one time and then you never see it again, but all the books are named after it.
The way that the story works for that franchise is they're all split up into different like dimensions, like a multiverse, right? So like Link in this dimension
Yeah,
goes
LinkedIn.
on this series, yeah, LinkedIn, goes on this series of adventures, and then there's a like time shift, and then now you have a different story, different series of games, and they're all like somewhat connected. Like Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time are some of like the biggest ones in the franchise. They're linked together, but then the story changes because like the dimension changes or the time frame changes or something.
Is this like a Spider-Man all over again? Like Spider-Man before Spider-Man? There's like
If
17 Spider-Man that nobody ever knew about. And then
If I
the
was-
three of them get together and hug each other after they send the one woman off through time. And
if I was
space.
more in like caught up on the history of it, I'd be able to go more in depth on it. But I haven't played any of them in so long. I'm honestly what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for them to remake Ocarina of Time for the Switch. I would buy that game in a heartbeat. But no, Nintendo has to be. I'm not. You know what? No, I'm sorry, Nintendo. I'm sorry I said your name. We can't talk about them anymore. I don't want to get a DMCA. Or
Yeah,
anything
they're
like that,
about
'cause
as
they
bad
like
as
to-
Disney.
They're worse.
Just because you said their name. Yeah.
Yeah, they're worse.
Yeah, I mean, so I saw that interaction, and then when you sent me the list today, because I literally said, I was like, I don't know, man, it's not the kind of games we talk about. Kind of like it's a guy I know, so I was like, man, I have to play the game first before I talk about it. And then you sent me the link of those games, and with Monster Hunter, I was like, oh wait, I forget he likes games like this. Maybe he knows a little bit about it, so I'm gonna ask him about it. Because then later on, when I go back to that post, I could tag that person and be like, yo, check this podcast out because we talked about Zelda.
Yeah, I need to refresh a lot of my memory on that game specifically, but you know, maybe we'll probably talk about it again because I'm gonna go look into it eventually now. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because I had another topic, I had a lot of topics prepared, and this is another game that I know you are a big fan of. Maybe not the single player so much, but I am also a hyper nerd about, and that's Halo. I keep
I
getting
love me some Halo, man.
I keep getting TikToks of, and they're really like super, it's like all TikToks, right? Super staged, super goofy, and it's just a dad like walking up to his baby who's obviously been placed there playing Halo Reach, and he like takes the controller from him and is like playing the mission. Like it's meant to be like a heartfelt thing,
Yeah.
but it's just funny. And I see the game in the background, and I'm just like, man, I was sitting on the toilet when I texted you this. I'll be 100% honest about it. But I was like, all right, I think it's getting to be time to play through the entire Halo series again. I do it probably once a year.
All right. So we want to be honest. I played Halo professionally and in tournaments. I went to California with a team for a tournament. I have never played through the game.
What?
Not one.
None of the
None.
stories at all?
None of them. I've only ever played multiplayer.
Whoa.
I told you, I have never been a single player game. My stepbrother, he's played through every single Halo game, but I have never played through any of them because I cannot do. I don't do that. I've always been a multiplayer player. I've only ever played multiplayer.
I'll
games.
be honest. I played the shit out of the multiplayer in Halo 3 and
Halo 3 was the
Reach.
best Halo.
Like I played the shit out of the multiplayer then, but the campaign is really where it's at, honestly. Like the multiplayer is great, but the story is like breathtaking.
I've seen the story. I've watched the story because my brother's played it. My stepbrother played it,
But you never
but
played it
I've never
yourself?
physically played it. No,
What?
nope. Because it wasn't until Reach that the story was multi-platform to where you could play together. Like you could play two player.
No. You need
You
to
could
walk
play.
that back.
You could play two player. No, before that, you could play two player on the same screen,
Yeah.
but you could never play like with Reach. You and I, being in Texas and New York, could play together the story.
You could do that on Halo 3.
Really? You sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
On the remake?
No. They never remade it.
Oh. Well, they remake. Which
But
one did they
on-
remake?
2.
2.
On 2 you can, and then on Halo 1 you can also, because they remade that too. But Halo
Yeah,
3,
I've
because
never
that
played
was
it.
on the 360.
Yeah.
Man, dude, you fucking upsetting me right now.
Sorry. I just
Well,
played the
it sounds
competitive
like
side of things.
it sounds like we need to go through and play it together then.
That'd be fun.
Like, I don't know, because I've okay, now time to flex something that's better than your professional gameplay on that. Is I've beaten all of them except for Infinite on Lasso, which is legendary all
Yeah.
skulls on. I've played all of them on that. I've played Halo 2, the original one on Lasso, back when it was harder,
Yep.
and I've done it. Well, no, I take it back actually. I didn't beat Halo 2 on Lasso. I got to the Covenant, which is like one of the last missions. It's like third from last.
Yeah, I know the missions. I know all
So
of about the stuff. I
the
just never played it.
upsetting me, man. It's one of the greatest games ever.
It is. Halo has by far one of the best games that I've played.
The only one that would be kind of hard to play if we played co-op, like through the whole story, would be Halo 5.
That was a tough.
I don't.
That was a tough Halo. in
That one
general.
sucks ass. That was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
You could say it's all right.
Yeah.
I'll say it twice for you. I don't care. That game's awful.
That was the worst.
Should have never happened.
That was so. Here's the thing. That was the worst one, and that's with them coming out with ODST.
ODST was great.
ODST sucked.
ODST was fantastic.
ODST sucked.
That game was great.
You know why it sucked?
Why?
There's no multiplayer.
There's no multiplayer? Actually, no. It did have it was.
It did have
multiplayer. If you
multiplayer.
get the original one, it was a multiplayer
Yes.
expansion disc.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the discs.
That one was Halo 3 ODST.
You know, I'm
was
not
great.
gonna
I like
lie.
that one.
I miss the midnight launches of games
I do too. I never
where you
got
actually
really
had to go and
participate
get
in
a real disc. You had to get in line. You got cool product if you were like the first like 10, 15 people there. Like
So I was too
cool
young
all-nighter.
to. By the time I was old enough to do midnight launches, they were already done. It wasn't
Oh.
really a thing anymore. The only one that I did, excuse me, the only one that I did was Black Ops 2 and Halo 4, both of which it was me and my friend having a sleepover where, Jesus Christ, man. It was me and my friend having a sleepover where we just sat at my house while our parents picked it up on their way home. Yeah, we didn't actually go wait in line because we were too young.
Too
We
young
were
to
in
wait
middle
in line.
school. We were in
Yeah.
middle school. We're like freshmen in high school, 8th grade, something like that. So Black Ops 2, that one was because they launched, I believe, like a day apart from each other. Black Ops 2, we didn't do anything special for. We just stayed up all night once we got it and played it together. Like zombies, etc., multiplayer,
Right.
split screen. Back when
Screen
back when that was a
peeking.
thing. Because back then you could play online split screen.
Split screen,
You can't do
yep.
that now.
No.
So the other thing we did, because he hadn't really beat Halo 3 on Legendary, and I had beaten it like a dozen times at that point, was we went through Halo. I didn't have Halo 1, so we went through Halo 2, played that all the way through on Legendary, and then we went to Halo 3, played through that on Legendary. By the time we finished Halo 3, it was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. the next morning, and his mom was showing up to drop off Halo 4 for us because she worked graveyard or
Oh.
a swing shift or something. So she went and picked it up for us, or for me, because I was the one that pre-ordered that one. She brought it to us, and then we popped it in, and by the time like 1 p.m. hit that morning, we had already beaten it. We just sat down and played it on Legendary, and it's like the most disappointing one to play through on Legendary.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting because we literally just flew through it like it was nothing. But that's the only one I've done. That one, and then Black Ops 2, and then so the way we did it was I got Halo 4 because I was a huge Halo fan, and then he got Black Ops 2, and I fell in love with that one. And I think like a few weeks later, I went out and bought Black Ops 2. I was able to get my mom to buy it for me. So and then that's when I started playing like game battles and MLG tournaments and stuff like that. I got hooked into that one big time.
So for Christmas this year, we bought my son the new Black Ops. But so now you can't just buy the disc, right? You have to buy the card, or you go online and you buy it for the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So we bought the card so we could wrap something up. I forgot that when you buy the card, they put the code for the game on your receipt.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. So when you buy a game from like Walmart or Target, they print the
threw
code
it away.
on your and I threw it away. So he's like, "When are you gonna go buy COD for me again? When are you gonna go figure out COD for me, Dad? I would like to play with my friends. You bought it for me for Christmas. When can I play the game?"
Tell him that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going down 2% a day on Steam DB in players and active players.
Yep.
And that the game is dead. And that he needs to watch Blame Truth.
What I told him was to go ahead and get back on Roblox. He'd have more fun there.
Black Ops 6 is pretty fun. I mean, it's not.
I saw something about them having like a Squid Games thing.
Yeah, they have a Squid Games event right now. Like I said, I have Blame Truth and a few other like COD pros on Twitter. So like I see the new shit that's happening with them, and then I see Blame Truth taking screenshots of their Steam DB going down 2% every single day for the last like 2 months in active concurrent players. And then like it's so it's like positive, negative, and then like positive. It's just goofy. I see all of like the random crap for them.
It's a positive sandwich.
Yeah, dude.
Positive, negative, positive.
Yeah, they have some event for Squid Games going on right now. I'm trying to remember it. Like some of the skins that you get from it are pretty broken. Like if you played Warzone 2019, you'll remember. I think it was season 2 of that. They released Rose, who was like, she had her face painted black.
She was all black,
like black armor,
and she was hard to see, like in windows and stuff. Yeah.
So if you've seen Squid Games, you'll know that the main antagonist guy, the leader of like that little cult, is in all black. That's a character you can get.
Okay.
Right. So it's basically people are taking screenshots of it, putting it all over Twitter, saying this is Rose 2.0 and the game's cooked and all that. So that's like all I've seen today for it. And I'm just kind of like, I'm glad I don't play Warzone anymore.
No, instead you get your balls smashed in Tarkov.
I'd rather do that. It's more fun.
Yeah, I mean, at least your balls are getting played with.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't benefit from Call of Duty that much. I don't find it enjoyable as like I used to. Like when I was your son's age, I loved it. Like I mean, I loved playing competitively. I loved playing casually. My favorite thing was to go and play game battles and then listen to the other person get upset and smash the remote on the other side of the microphone.
Yeah, that's just
the
COD.
best.
Yeah, I love doing that. Love making
it was
people
so fun. And back then, like I was dropping like nukes and stuff in games. Like it was crazy. Like I enjoyed the game way more then. Nowadays, and I'm not bad at it now. Like I'm still pretty good at it. I just don't like it like I used to.
I told an MMA fighter to get the fuck out of my lobby to his face at a tournament after we beat him.
Did he get out of the lobby?
He got eliminated. So yeah, and then he took pictures with us. So I mean,
good, cool.
But yeah, I told him I told him I was going to do some stuff to his mom as well during the game.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah,
it's all competitive.
Yeah, like I said, again, right afterwards, like literally gave us a hug, took pictures with us, told us GGs, and we moved on and kept playing.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man.
Yeah,
that's the
competitiveness of it. It's the same
Yeah.
thing like when we play Tarkov and we kill somebody. We're like, "Get shit on,"
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
they come into the chat and they're like super nice and you go dump their gear for them, or they come in the chat and they're an asshole and you take all their gear.
There was there was a 4-man that killed me yesterday that came in the chat and followed me. They were super chill.
Oh,
If you guys
nice.
are watching right now, thank you guys for following. You guys are super chill.
That was the one thing too I wanted to address at some point today. There was, I don't know if there's, maybe it's just mine because I've streamed in forever, but like none of my alerts went off last stream, so I got a bunch of follows last stream that I didn't even get to talk to or say thank you to them. So if you guys followed in the last couple days, I appreciate it. It means the world. Come back and like I said, I've been gone since freaking end of March, beginning of April of last year, and to come back and have the response, even for the podcast in general, like that we have had, um, it's gone above my expectations. Like I said last episode, like me and Reptilian, we talked about it. It was like we're just gonna do it for fun because it's something that we both have wanted to do. What happens with it, and we're here to have fun, and we're gonna put it out there. And if you guys like it, like it. If you don't, shut the fuck up. Just move on and watch a different podcast.
You could add us on Twitter if you
Yeah.
have a problem with it, and you
Tag
can
us
drive our
both.
engagement.
Tag us both
Drive
in
engagement.
it. Yeah, absolutely. I'll share it. I'll even share it for you. I'll like it. I'll heart it. I'll share it. You can tag me on Facebook if you want to. In Spotify, you can make a comment, and I'll comment back to you, man. On there, I will.
Yeah, let's push engagement.
Yeah,
it all
absolutely.
helps.
Absolutely.
Negative, positive. Let's go.
But no, yeah. Podcasting was something that I've been considering for a while. Like I don't listen to very much of them. I do a few of them, but it's just always caught my eye. One, I like talking, right? I know you guys don't realize it at all, but I do like to talk, which is one of the reasons why I've been asked to cast. I've done COD casting, I've done Halo casting, Valorant casting, because I like to talk about stuff and I like to describe what I'm seeing, and some would say I like to mansplain it. But that's what it's there for. So, I think one night we were hanging out and I jokingly text Reptilian like, dude, I really want to do something like this. Well, I wasn't joking, but like it was not like a serious like, hey, let's do this together. And he was like, yo, so do I. I was like, wait,
streaming.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, seriously, like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, me too. And we're like, cool, let's just do it for fun and see what happens. And here we are. And episode 2, talked about food today.
This is a food cast.
I'm starting to get hungry.
It started out as a food cast.
It did.
I had just eaten like literally 10 minutes before we started, 15 minutes before
Yeah, it
we
was like
started,
same thing, like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
So thankfully, I'm not hungry right now.
Oh, but I'm chubby, so that got burnt off quick. And I'm cold, so like, my body's like shivering and it's like burning food.
It's metabolizing.
Yeah, exactly. It's no, it's not really that cold out here. But yeah, today I like the nonsense of it. From today, the gaming talk was fun as well because it wasn't Tarkov, right? We didn't sit here and we didn't bitch and moan about Tarkov for it. Those days will come.
I could rant about doing setup if you guys want to hear me.
I mean,
we'll
save it for
setup.
Here's the thing: is we'll save it for Wednesday when he still hasn't completed it.
I need 2 more kills.
Listen, it didn't take you 12 times to do Woods camp, and you set camp in Convoy.
Yeah. I'm getting my deaths finally. I'm clearing up my stash too, thankfully. So there's your Tarkov talk.
There's your Tarkov talk for the day for you Tarkov people. I have been
Dibs was
talking to a
mentioned
few
earlier.
different people that have reached out that one want to start playing with us because their group of people is not playing the game. Um, so I invited them to the Discord and then talked about wanting to guest a couple times with us. I'm done with setup, thank God. Must be nice. I haven't even started it yet. So make sure you guys save your Shankas and your scav vests for me, okay? Because I will die a lot for when I get there.
I got you.
I will say, Reptilian and I have had some cool talks about our future, about future episodes. He's got some secrets planned. I have some secrets planned. I think we're both
I'm
just
always
kind of
cooking.
waiting for those guarantee yeses from the people that we're holding as a secret before we talk about exactly what they are. But
I think all that needs to be said on those topics right there is we look forward to where this is going to
where it's
go
gonna go,
potentially. And like Chubby said before, what we talked about last time, like if this goes nowhere, it at least is just
it's us having
something
fun.
fun
Yep.
that we do. We get to have fun and chit chat. We get to hopefully talk to some interesting people. Someday we may have 100,000 people that watch this or like watch on Spotify. Nobody ever knows. We may never have more than 15. We don't know. We don't really care that much right now. Like it's just for fun. Right?
Absolutely. And where it goes from here. And we go do our thing. We play our games and find something to talk about every time for it. Chat on that side though. We have posts. We post a minimum twice a week on our socials about when the next episode is. On any of those posts, if there is something you want us to potentially talk about, by all means, throw it in the comments for it. I'm not going to guarantee we'll talk about it because I know some of you guys will post. Okay, because some of you guys are weird, and we love you for it. But throw it in the comments. We talked about Zelda today, and that was somebody commented that, and that brought up a topic for us since we were talking about other video games. So who knows where it may go with you guys as well. And we can move on and have some fun talking about it. For it. So definitely throw out your ideas to us. Again, you can find myself. I will be live again tomorrow without the podcast. It will only be games tomorrow. I may come back around a little bit later. Once the wife goes to bed, maybe I'll jump back on and stream again. We'll see. Maybe you'll find me in Reptilians chat, which is I am Reptilian 1 for my stream and those that are listening. You can find me in Chubby Hubby 09 on pretty much any platform. I am Reptilian 1 on pretty much every platform. You can find Mr. Reptilian there. And we are going to Reptilian. You are staying on.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay
Okay.
live.
So
but we'll
my
end the
chat,
podcast
we're
here.
going to jump over with Reptilian. You guys will have fun over at Reptilians. Maybe you'll hear me in there playing some games with them. And then we will call it a day from there. All right. Chat.
Did we sign out the podcast at least?
Chat. That's what we're doing now.
Oh, okay.
Chat, we do appreciate you tuning in today to Noobs and Nonsense with myself and Reptilian. Reptilian, any last words for everybody tonight?
Everybody, audio listeners, Twitch chat, if you guys haven't already gone over to the YouTube channel, it's on my YouTube channel. There is a playlist for it under podcasts. I think it might be podcast or Noobs or Nonsense podcast. Go like it, go share it with people. This episode will get posted probably not tonight, probably tomorrow or Monday. Go over to the Spotify and hit follow, leave a review, write some comments. This episode will also be posted there as well. Go drop me and Chubby a follow on any one of our platforms. Join the Discords, etc. Whatever suits your fancy. Whatever you want to do. Just show some support. Share the podcast around. Encourage others to share the show the love. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of their week. I don't know when we're going to do our next episode. We don't really have specific days in mind at the moment. But whenever Chubby's wife's not working.
No, when
That's
she
kinda
is
what we're-
working. When
Well,
she
I mean,
is
whenever
working.
she is working,
Yeah.
my bad. That's kind of what we're rolling with. Through time, we'll have specific days, but as of this moment, we don't have anything set in stone. So just check Twitter, check Discord,
We'll
check
put
for
it up.
updates.
We'll put it out there.
Yep.
We'll let you
Or
guys know.
X if you're a weirdo
Right.
that calls it X.
Yeah, Twitter. It'll always be Twitter for me until it's not. Yeah. So, love you guys. Thanks for those that showed up for the live. And like Reptilian said, go share it. Go throw some thumbs up on it. On the Spotify, play it. I don't care if you're sleeping. Hit push play on that thing. Hit the repeat button. Just get them plays going for it. Fuzzy, I'll send you the link later, man. Fuzzy, I believe Rep, you're playing Tarkov.
Yeah, I don't know who with though, just yet.
Fuzzy, if you want to join in and play, I'll probably jump on in a little bit in that Discord I sent you, but we're going to start playing here in a little bit. I'm going to go check on the wife and go from there. But guys, thanks for showing up. Love you guys. Tune in next time to Noobs and Nonsense, and we'll see you guys later.
Adios. Episode 2.